In the year 2000, two men walked into Blockbuster's headquarters in Dallas with a simple offer: buy our company for $50 million. The CEO nearly laughed them out of the room. That company was Netflix. Today, it's worth nearly $400 billion. Blockbuster. There's one store left. One. To understand how this happened, you've got to go back to 1985. A software developer named David Cook had just watched his oil and gas tech company fall apart after crude prices tanked. He needed a new idea. His wife Sandy suggested video rentals. At the time, most video stores were cramped little shops with a few hundred tapes behind the counter, dimly lit, poorly organized, and run on instinct. Cook looked at the industry and thought, I can do this better. On October 19, 1985, he opened the first Blockbuster Video in Dallas, Texas. It had 8,000 tapes covering 6,500 titles, bright lights, clean shelves, a computerized barcode system that tracked every rental. It felt like walking into the future. And on opening night, the store was so mobbed they had to lock the doors to stop more people coming in. Within 2 years, a waste management tycoon named Wayne Huizenga bought in and took the reins. Under Huizenga, Blockbuster didn't just grow, it exploded. By 1988, there were 400 stores. By 1990, a new one was opening every single day. In 1994, media giant Viacom acquired Blockbuster for $8.4 billion. Let that number sink in. At its peak in 2004, Blockbuster had over 9,000 stores worldwide and 84,000 employees. Friday nights in America had a ritual: drive to Blockbuster, argue with your family about what to watch, grab some popcorn, and head home. It wasn't just a business, it was a cultural institution. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Blockbuster's empire was built on something its customers absolutely hated: late fees. In the year 2000 alone, Blockbuster collected nearly $800 million in late fees. That was 16% of the company's entire revenue. Think about that. 1 out of every $6 Blockbuster earned came from punishing its own customers. A late return could triple the rental price, and a lost tape could set you back $200. 23 separate class action lawsuits were filed over those charges. People weren't just annoyed, they were furious. And that fury created an opening for someone else. In 1997, Reed Hastings and Marc Randolph founded Netflix. The origin story Hastings loved to tell was that he'd been hit with a $40 late fee on a VHS copy of Apollo 13 and thought, there has to be a better way. His co-founder Randolph later called that story a convenient fiction. The truth was simpler. They wanted to be the Amazon of something, and DVDs, which were cheap and durable enough to mail in a thin envelope, were the perfect product. Netflix's pitch was straightforward: a flat monthly fee, no late charges, DVDs delivered to your door and returned by post. No driving, no guilt, no angry cashier scanning your overdue rentals. Blockbuster punished customers for being forgetful. Netflix rewarded them for it. But by the year 2000, Netflix was in serious trouble. The dot-com bubble was bursting. The company was burning cash and nowhere near profitable. Hastings and Randolph were desperate. So when Blockbuster's team agreed to meet with them in Dallas, they chartered a plane and flew down the very next morning. The pitch was simple. Netflix would run Blockbuster's online business. Blockbuster would keep the stores. Together, they'd dominate. And the price? $50 million. Blockbuster CEO John Antioco listened politely, and then, according to Randolph, he struggled not to laugh. His advisor dismissed online businesses as unsustainable. When Hastings blurted out the $50 million figure, the room went cold. The Netflix team left Dallas deflated. A former Blockbuster executive later put it bluntly: "We had the option to buy Netflix for $50 million, and we blew it. They were losing money. They came around a few times." So, what happened next? Netflix didn't die. It got angry. Netflix went public in 2002 and posted its first profit the following year. By 2006, it had 6 million subscribers. Blockbuster was finally waking up. Antioco launched Blockbuster Online in 2004 and, in a bold move, killed the late fees in early 2005. That decision cost the company around $400 million in annual revenue. But it was the right call. And here's the part that still amazes me. Blockbuster almost won. In 2006, Antioco launched Total Access, a hybrid service where you could rent DVDs online and return them at any Blockbuster store for a free in-store exchange. It was brilliant. Within weeks, Blockbuster was winning the majority of new online subscribers, outpacing Netflix for the first time. Reed Hastings himself later admitted that if it hadn't been for Blockbuster's debt, they could have been killed. So what went wrong? 2 words. Carl Icahn. The billionaire investor had bought nearly 10% of Blockbuster's stock and secured a board seat. He thought Antioco's online strategy was a money pit. He wanted the company to focus on stores, pay off debt, and bring back the late fees. When Antioco was owed a $7.6 million bonus after a strong 2006, Icahn fought to slash it. The two went to war. By March 2007, Antioco was gone. Icahn replaced him with James Keyes, the former CEO of 7-Eleven, a convenience store man tasked with winning a digital war. Keyes had no experience building an online business. He pulled investment from the digital division, doubled down on brick-and-mortar stores, and in 2010 reinstated the very late fees that had been driving customers to Netflix in the first place. Everything Antioco had built was dismantled in months. It was arguably the worst leadership change in modern business history. Antioco later wrote that he firmly believed Blockbuster Online would have had 10 million subscribers and been rivaling Netflix for market leadership, if his strategy hadn't been abandoned. On September 23, 2010, Blockbuster filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy with nearly $1 billion in debt. By then, Netflix had already launched its streaming service, pivoting from DVDs to the internet, the very future Blockbuster's advisors had once dismissed as unsustainable. That same year, Netflix hit 20 million subscribers and started expanding overseas. Dish Network scooped up what was left of Blockbuster in 2011 for a fraction of its former value. Dish's chairman later called the acquisition a poor strategy. By 2014, the last 300 company-owned stores were shut down for good. And Antioco, the CEO, who'd once laughed at Netflix and then nearly beaten them, after he left Blockbuster, he took his payout and invested it in Netflix stock. He could see what was coming. Everyone could, except the people who replaced him. Today, there's one Blockbuster left on Earth, a single franchise store in Bend, Oregon, that's become a tourist attraction, a museum to a company that once had 9,000 locations and a valuation in the billions. Meanwhile, Netflix is worth close to $400 billion. Carl Icahn later called Blockbuster the worst investment he ever made. Blockbuster didn't die because it ignored Netflix. It died because the one man who was actually beating Netflix got fired over a bonus dispute. And that might be the most Blockbuster thing of all. In the end, the late fee came for them too.